y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a traveler's notebook process video for you. I am adding to my fall traveler's notebook. I have found that once I stopped trying to capture every picture in every story in my traveler's notebook and just did it here and there, I am really enjoying it more, and it definitely took the pressure off. So today I am planning on using this photo of me and my son and our dog cuddling on the couch. And I'm also going to use the Taylor collection from Felicity Jane. So I will put you all on fast forward. I will make sure to list all of the supplies down below that I use in case you're interested in checking them out. Otherwise, let's go. I'm going to start out by trimming out my photo. It's going to end up approximately 4 by 5 inches. I wanted it to be nice and big. I've been working with a lot of smaller photos in my memory planning, so it was nice to get to do a larger photo in my TN. And then what I'm going to do is look through some of the cards and kind of pick out some elements that I'm interested in using so I can pick my color scheme. And the card that jumped out at me was this one that said today's win, because that's how I feel like I'm functioning now, focusing on the wins, focusing on the good things that happen each day. And I kind of really was digging this kind of burnt red color. I don't think it's totally a burgundy. It's kind of a rustier color, and that was a little bit of an unusual color to me and not one that I work with very often, so I was excited to give it a try. I had pulled out this mustard paper thinking that I would use it as well, and then it turned out it didn't call to me. Once I was starting to work with this, I didn't like the two together. I think that the pattern was too busy on the mustard one to combine with the plaid that I had going on for the main page. So I'm going to trim out that plaid to be 4 1/4 by 8 1/4 to fit right into my traveler's notebook. And I think I'm going to do the journaling card on that page, and that's just going to tell the story. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a pocket. So I do want a pocket of some sort, but I actually end up changing it up and doing something I haven't done before. And now I'm looking at some of the scraps I have and figuring out how I might anchor that photo over on the right side of the spread. And I will do that with a few of the little scraps, so I'll just trim them out right there. Okay, I have this piece of floral paper that is left over. I guess from a different project. I don't remember using it, but I did. And so I'm going to trim it out and use it to kind of anchor over there on the right side of the spread. And I'm just going to layer it with some different pieces. And these are branding strips that I had left over from other papers. So I will layer those together, just a little bit of light adhesive right here to hold it in place. Layering, this is a rusty kind of grid pattern, and then the black and white polka dot, always very nice. And then I will put the floral on top of that. Now I pull out the washi tape because it kind of has that rust color, but it's a little bit brighter. And so I decide I'm going to use the washi tape on the actual paper. I'll layer it in a different place. So I'm going to go ahead and put the floral down, and then I'll kind of guesstimate where I want that red washi tape to go. I think I'm gonna go, it's rust. It's not red, it's rust. So we'll put it in there, but you'll see once I put it down, it really is a lot brighter than that red color that I have going on. So you'll see that I end up deciding I need to incorporate it in a few other spots on the page. And it's not too bad. I'm able to do it, but I really thought originally that it would just blend in a little bit more, but it really has a good pop of brightness to it, and so I have to definitely work on incorporating that. So I'm just trimming off the excess, and then I'll trim all the way up to the top, and actually I end up using my scraps to help me form a pocket over on the left side of the spread to hold my journaling card. At first I think I'll do a more traditional pocket, but actually if I would just adhere each side and make sure it was pretty tightly on there, then I think it will actually hold the journaling card in place. And I'll show you what I mean. First, let me add a little washi tape at the bottom. I'll just fold it under because I don't want the whole strip. I just want a little bit peeking out, about as much as is over on the right side. And then see how my journaling card will just hold right in there? So I'll add a little bit of adhesive on the edges, and then I'm actually going to take it over to my sewing machine after I make sure that the journaling card still fits. Yep, so I'll take it over to my sewing machine, sew through the edges just to make sure it's nice and secure. I am going to trim off the strings. Normally I'm a big fan of leaving the strings, but I thought it would just add too much in this one. So trimming off the strings, and you can see my journaling card, it actually fits pretty snugly. I don't think I'm going to have an issue with it sliding out as long as it's not going in and out all of the time. Now I'm playing with where I want to put my picture on the right side, and I am going to put it close to the top and use these chipboard letters to add my title. See if I can bring in a little bit more of that red. Now I'm bringing it over on that side just because I feel like that bright red is really popping off. So being able to bring in a little bit more of the red that's in the plaid is gonna help my eye, I feel like, just rest a little bit more and not be so distracted by the brighter red washi. So I'm tearing off the edges just for a more organic look, and I'm adding that little border at the top, and then I will end up adding a little bit more at the bottom. Again, just to bring that red over to that side. I could have matted the whole picture, but it's a pretty big picture, and so I thought that would be overwhelming. So just adding the strip, barely peeking out from the top and bottom, and I feel like it brings that pattern all the way over, which I really like. So now that I like that, I will adhere this picture down, adding plenty of adhesive, which you have to do in a traveler's notebook. You don't want these pieces falling out, so don't be stingy with your adhesive when you're working on open projects like this. I actually pull out my big adhesive tape glider to do the other side that is the full sheet because I really think that it's a strong adhesive. It's one of my favorites to use. So I'll line it up. I get a little bit askew right at the last second, and so you can see I have a little bit where it didn't line up exactly right. So no big deal. I always just trim it off. I know it doesn't bother some people. It bothers me when little pieces of another layout are peeking out. So I don't like that. So I always just trim it out, just being really careful to make sure I don't mess up either side of the layout in this case. So trimming that off, you can see with all that jostling, that journaling card is still holding strong. So I really think it's gonna hold up well there. All right, grabbing those chipboard letters, I will be adding my title. Usually I start in the middle of the word, but I realize I want to make sure it fits over there on the left. So I am adding the title, You Are Magic, because that is just one of the most magical times of my day, cuddling with my kiddos in the evening watching a cartoon. On this particular day we were actually watching The Grinch because we have opted to go ahead and put out our Christmas decorations. We all needed a little bit of a lift in spirit, and so why not just do Christmas decor early? That's what we did, and then my kids asked if we could watch The Grinch, and I said sure thing, I'm all for it. I was feeling a little bit concerned that the red wasn't in enough places from the washi tape. So I took one piece and cut it in two, or tore it in two, and I'm just adding it as if it's holding that picture in place. And I think I like it there. So I think it's a nice way to bring in a little bit more of that red. Now it's in 3 places around the spread, which works pretty well. Now these stickers, these are like an epoxy sticker. They're bendable. It's a very cool feel. I like it a lot. So I add the little house, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to add some other pieces, and man, I struggled. I wanted to add some more by the title, the You Are Magic, but then the washi tape kept getting in my way, and these stickers, you can see through them, so it was hard to figure out where to put the pieces. I don't really have any other pinks very much in the page, so I didn't want to bring the pink one in. You can see I like have them all over my fingers, and I'm just trying to decide where to put them. So I opt for the leaf right there. Where can I put another leaf? It just doesn't fit there with the fold and with the title. So then I go back to the drawing board and find this little acorn, and that fits nicely in that little spot. And do I want to add a leaf there or a rainbow? And I end up going with the rainbow. I wish I hadn't pressed it down, because you'll see later on I add a label, and I kind of wish I'd layered it over top the label, but that's okay. Adding a leaf there at the top, and then an extra little phrase sticker that says remember this, because these are the great moments. So I take my journaling card, add typing. I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers typewriter that I'm loving, and then these label stickers are my favorite. I will definitely be buying more of them if they're in stock, because I just love that they're already sticky. I've been using them in my planner. They are just fantastic. And I just want to add a label, because if you didn't know, I have identical twin sons, and while I can tell them apart now, I'm afraid when I look back at these scrapbooks in a few years, I won't remember who was who. So I always like to label them just in case. So just adding the little label that says Mommy, Bradley, and Penny our Beagle. And that's it for this page. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I have all of the supplies I use linked down below, and I hope you have a fabulous day. As always, keep it creative.